So, congratulations on signing up for AP Lang. It's a great choice. Whether you're excited, you're nervous, or you're just trying to get your capstone degree, this video is for anyone that's about to take the AP Language and Composition course and wants to know, what is this class really like? Is it hard? How do I not fail these essays? And we're going to cover all of that, so hold on. So, what is AP Lang? AP Lang is basically a class about how people use language to make them sound different ways. Not like, hey, let's write a poem or let's read this book, but it's more like, how does this politician get people to stay on his side and to believe him? How does this article make it sound more trustworthy? And is this influencer making a solid argument or just talking? It's all about nonfiction. It's not novels, it's not fiction. You're reading speeches, essays, you're making opinions, you're reading news. Sometimes you even have ads and graphs. And your job really is to just figure out how this writer is trying to get their point across. Now, what are you going to actually do in AP Lang? So, first off, there are essays. Our essays are a big part of this course, and there are three main types. The first type is rhetorical analysis. This is an essay where you'll read a passage and you'll explain how the writer is trying to persuade the audience. You're looking at tone, structure, word choice, all of that stuff. And try to think more about analyzing how and not what the author is trying to say. Next up, you have the argument essay. You're going to get a topic and you're going to argue your point using logic, examples, and purely your brain. You don't get sources, but you have you and your opinions, and maybe a couple historical references if you can pull them out of your brain during the time. Last up for the essays, you have synthesis. Now you're going to get a bunch of short sources, about 6 or so, and you're going to build your own argument using them. So it's basically like a research paper, but fast. Another thing that you're going to be doing in AP Lang is the multiple choice questions. Now, there's not too much practice that you need to do for this, but it is the first section of the exam. It's about an hour, and there's about 60 or so questions, and it's just like basic reading. You ever taken those DESA English tests and you have to read the passage and determine the thesis statement or something like that? That's basically what the multiple choice question is, with a little more towards the rhetorical side. Honestly, if your teacher assigns you packets or a digital practice exam that you can take, I recommend you do it, just so that way you can really get that practice. But I'd say the main focus are these essays because they are the biggest aspect of this exam. Now, all of these essays, all of this multiple choice that you're gonna have to do, it seems like a lot, and it is. Writing 3 essays in 2 hours, and on top of that, having to do multiple choice as well, it really is a lot of work. And so I'm gonna leave you with a couple of tips on just how to survive AP Lang. First off, make sure to read actively. Don't just skim the texts and pretend like you understand what it means. Underline it. Write some question marks. Write some thoughts that you might have. Write anything. Maybe in this sentence, the author is appealing to pathos. Maybe he's trying to toy with people's emotions, right? Maybe in another sentence, you don't know what's going on. Write some question marks next to it. Make sure that you are thinking like a detective. Really get into the text. Don't just read it and say, yeah, I understand it, when you really don't. Second up, learn the rhetorical terms, okay? Ethos, pathos, logos, diction, syntax, yeah. You'll hear these words a lot, and if you don't know what that means, then you're gonna have a hard time on the essay. Another tip for getting better at writing these essays is to practice under a time pressure. Okay? So on the AP exam, you're going to have to write 3 essays in 2 hours. And that seems crazy at first. It seems like you won't get it done. It seems like there's just way too much to write and read with such little time. And I understand that. I thought that as well too. But with pretty consistent practice, just getting your time down. Like, start at a day, write an essay, okay? Then push it down to 6 hours, 3 hours, 2 hours, 1 hour, and see just how quickly you can write an essay. And that alone will help you with numbers on nailing this AP exam. Next up, don't be afraid to be wrong. This class is about thinking, and sometimes your first take won't land. Maybe you didn't understand fully what a writer meant with this rhetorical statement. Maybe you just didn't get the point of an argumentative essay. And that's okay. It's okay to be wrong. But don't make it like your whole thing to be always right. Because you won't be. And that's okay. It'll take time, it'll take practice, and you'll learn. And finally, just talk it out, okay? You might have a friend group that you lean towards. You might have YouTube, TikTok. Some of these platforms can help you to really nail it. There's videos online that will teach you certain strategies that I can't tell you in this video. There's people who have gotten 5s and will tell you how they studied, how they can give you better strategies to pass. And of course, just talk to your friends. It's important to have a pretty tight friend group. Just so that way you can lean on them. Ask them, hey, how did you write this essay? Get some ideas from them. Alright, leaving you with a little bit of last advice here. Don't wait until the night before to start working on your essays. Make sure that you are really cutting up your time to make sure that you can cut down on the amount of time it takes for you to write an essay. And with all the time and practice that it will take, starting it the night before will not help you. And of course, ask your teachers for feedback and make sure that you actually use it. Your teachers know a lot, and they can really help you get towards your goal and get that 5 on the AP exam. They'll help you understand rhetorical strategies you might not know. They'll help you write a better argumentative essay, pull things out of your brain. They will help you to strive to be better. But, that being said, don't aim for being perfect. Aim for progress. Nobody is going to be perfect, and that's okay. But aim to work on your skills. If you see that you used to write an essay in 3 hours and now you cut it down to 45 minutes, that is amazing. That is progress. Might not be a perfect essay. It might have a couple grammar mistakes, but it's good, but it's better. And that is all that matters. And of course, lastly, just don't be afraid to be yourself. It's okay to put in some witty comments in your argumentative essays. It's okay to be who you feel like you should be when you are describing things to people. But don't make it sloppy. Make it smart. Make it sound professional in a way that sounds like you. If that makes sense. But make sure that you are still putting pieces of yourself in there. Otherwise, it's just going to be a soulless piece of paper. And let's be honest, we all need a little bit of happiness here and there in this class. Now, all of this being said, it might seem like a lot. You know, AP Lang, just with all of its information and all of the work that it takes and all the practice, it will seem challenging enough that you might want to walk away. But just remain calm and just push through. Really try to understand the concepts. And if it's not for you, then it's not for you. That's okay. But if you're really considering taking this course, or if you're already enrolled in it, then have fun and don't let the stress get to you. Because there will be times when you have so much work to do and you just don't want to do any of it. You have essays to write, you have practice to do, you need to time yourself, and sometimes you have in-class essays, and those are stressful, okay? It will take time, it will take a lot of effort, but don't let that scare you away. Good luck and have fun.